Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm Tia Slidham. I'm super excited to be here with you today. Please open up your chat as you're coming on. I see we already have hundreds of people ready in the waiting room. So let's get started. So I want you to open up your chat feature and I want you to click it to everyone. So when you are chatting back and forth, we all can see your comments and your questions so we can get your questions answered and help support you in the best way. So please say hi in the chat feature. And make sure it's to everybody. Tiffany, good morning. Let us know if you'd like, Robin, good morning, where you're tuning in from, the ages of your kids, what your biggest challenge is. I don't care. Say something. Let us say hello and get to know you. Good morning, Natalie and Brandy and Audra. iPhone, you're to host and panelist. Make sure it's set to everybody and go ahead and put your name on there if you would like so that I can see who you are and get to know you a little bit. Good morning, Erica from Ohio, boys 6, 4, and 2. Allison, good morning. Angelie, 17, 13, and 10. Hello, hello. Good morning from New York, Melanie. Good morning from Illinois. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It is, just so you guys know, my youngest one's 14th birthday today. So my baby is 14, and my older one is 16. I am parenting right alongside you guys. So I know what's up, and we're going to talk about that today. Wendy is in the chat. When you guys see Wendy Wang, she is the absolute best. Okay. She is a head coach in our coaching program. She has 2 boys. She's gone through our program before our program and working with us. She was in a place of desperation. She will be in the chat supporting you, answering questions, getting you guys what you need. So when you see Wendy in there, definitely, please. Stacy, happy birthday from South Carolina. I love it. A Gemini. So please lean on Wendy and myself. Okay. So I want to use your time wisely. I have so much to cover with you guys today, like so much. So get your notepad ready, get your pen ready. I've got my water ready because I'm doing a lot of talking. And thank you for the birthday wishes to Beckett. That's very much appreciated. But let's talk about you guys, because I know you are here because you want to know how to get your kids to listen the first time without yelling, or let's face it, 92 reminders. In the comments, if you are like, hell yeah, I want to know how to do this, tell me. I want you guys to use the comments as much as you can, okay? Chat with us. Let us know. Get involved. Let's have a conversation. I know I'm the one talking, but I want to be talking with you guys. So let's figure out how we need to do this. iPhone, you said I need this help. I'd love to know your name. If you could change your name at the bottom, that would be awesome. Awesome. I would love to know. So I don't call you iPhone. All right, Aubrey, heck yeah, let's do this. Okay, so tech is not my forte. If my slides go back and forth, you're not here for a tech lesson. This is not a master class on tech. It's a master class on parenting. So bear with me. Okay, I know you just want your kids to listen the first time you ask, rather than ask, and then blow up and yell. If you relate to these things, say me in the comment. I also know that you want to wake up excited to parent rather than dreading the inevitable power struggles, dreading the fact that everything has to be a battle, dreading the fact that you just wish bedtime would come and it's 8 a.m. I know you want to resolve that. I know you want a strong bonding connection with your child. I know you don't want to be feeling the anger, the distance, and the resentment. I know you want to get to a place where, like my 14-year-old still does, wants me to lay down and snuggle with him and hold his hand and talk with him. And he opens up with me. And my older son, who's 16, still wants to go for a walk and hang with me. I know you want that. But I also know you don't know how to get there yet. Uh-oh, I think there's one more, maybe not. So I am so happy to meet you guys. If you are new here, and this is the first time that you have come across me, put a 1 in the chat. If you've been following along for a while and you followed me on Instagram at Tia Parenting Coach, you've been watching my videos, you've been following for months or maybe even years, put a 2 in the chat. Some of you will be new, some of you will have been following along for a while. Either way, it's nice to meet you in a more intimate way. My name is Tia Slidham. I am a parenting coach. I have been working with kids and families for over 20 years. I know that ages me entirely, and I hate to even say it. I'm a mom to those 2 amazing, handsome gentlemen, Hudson, who's 16, Beckett, who's 14. We have helped thousands of parents from around the world solve their challenges. I know you are hesitant. I know this is not your first masterclass or webinar. I know that you have tried things that haven't worked. I know that it feels like you are throwing spaghetti at the wall and nothing is sticking. And I know you just want to get the results that you want to get. Okay. I want you guys to tell me in the comments if that feels like that's you. Write the word relate if you feel like that is you. You are throwing spaghetti. You have tried. Nothing seems to work. You keep reading books. You keep doing things and you relate to that. What I want you to know, and Wendy can attest to because she's here, is I want you to know that what we do works. And not what we do works sometimes, or what we do works for some kids, or what we do works depending on how old your kids are, or whether you're married or separated, or whether your child has a diagnosis or not. No, what we do works every single time. And we're going to talk about why that is today and why you're in the right place if you truly want to build that bonding connection and be excited to spend the days with your kids and get your kids to listen the first time without the yelling and the anger and all those punishments. Okay, so you are in the right place, my friends. I want you to say goodbye to those Band-Aid approaches. So for those of you who, Wendy says, I was in your shoes for 6 whole years, a chronic yeller for at least that long, and it took me less than 12 weeks to stop doing that. Yeah, less than 12 weeks, where she struggled for years. So this is what's possible for all of you guys as well when you have what you need to make that happen, which we can give you. But what you're doing currently is what Wendy was doing for 6 years, Band-Aid approaches. So that means you are trying many different things. You are using bits and pieces. And sadly, you are using tactics such as the following. If you use some or all of the following tactics, I want you to write some or all, okay? Yelling, reminders, empty threats, taking things away, bribery, rewards, engaging in power struggles. If you don't do this, you're not going to do this. If you don't knock it off, we're not going to go here. If your shoes aren't on, I'm leaving you. Erica says all. Tiffany, all. Danielle, all. Jessica, all. Jamie, all. Some says Robin. Audra, all. Yeah, those are all Band-Aid approaches, and we're going to talk about that, okay? I want you guys to know that what we're going to discuss today is going to be information you must have if you actually want results. But I'm going to be fully transparent. You've been to master classes before. You've listened to podcasts. You've read books. A book, a podcast, a master class, a tip or trick, it's not going to solve your challenges. Okay? It's going to keep you stuck. In order to solve your challenges, you're going to need all the pieces. Can I give you all the pieces in an hour to an hour and a half masterclass? No, I wish I could. I wish it was that quick. But like Wendy said, in 12 weeks or less, she solved years worth of challenges. So I want to be transparent with you guys today. You're here because you want to learn. You want to start implementing some things that work. You want to learn some things about why you're stuck where you're stuck so you can stop being stuck. And we're going to do that. Am I going to solve all your challenges from morning to night in one session? No. I wish I could, but I can't. But I am going to give you aha moments. I am going to give you reasons why you're stuck and what's happening currently. I am going to give you tools that you can implement and start using to start seeing results. But we're not going to solve all your challenges morning to night. Write the word fair if that makes sense in an hour to an hour and a half masterclass. Write the word fair if we're on the same page. Okay? I want to be on the same page. I am not here to trick you. I am not here to, try and, get you to do one thing and it's not actually going to give you that. I am here to teach you, guide you, and show you. And for those of you who want to fully resolve your challenges and you want to feel like Wendy and you want to feel like everybody else, you can continue in the course on this masterclass and actually get amazing bonuses and cost savings if you are ready to do that. So Danielle, how can we continue on the course? We're going to show you exactly how to do that. So get yourselves ready for that if you want it. If you don't want it, that's okay, guys. You have to do what works for you. Okay. But what I'm going to say to you is if you keep using yelling, reminders, empty threats, bribery, rewards, taking things away, engaging in power struggles, you're solving it in the moment and it's coming back again and again and again and again. And I'm going to talk to you in a little bit why those tactics are teaching your kids not to listen to you. Okay. Get ready for some light bulb moments. Like I said, tips and tricks won't work. They're not going to solve your challenges. How many years have you guys been struggling? Write in the comments. How many years have you been struggling, feeling defeated, tired of yelling, kids won't listen, feeling frustrated, feeling like nothing works, feeling like you don't like who you are as a parent? How many years? 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, at least 10, says Isla. 5, 2, 5, 1, 3. Guys, this is not days. This is not weeks. This is years of struggling. The reason it's not working is because tips and tricks are keeping you stuck and lost. You need to understand the root cause of your child's behavior. And I'm going to teach you how we do that today. Because if you don't know why behaviors are happening, you're never going to solve them. If you don't know why you're stuck in your cycles, you're never going to solve them. I want you to walk away feeling empowered, that you might not know exactly how to do all of it today, but you know damn well why you're stuck and what needs to be done so you can get to the other side. Okay? How many of you feel like you force your kids to do everything? You force them to get dressed. You have to force them to eat. You force them to clean up, force them to stop fighting, force them to get off their device, force them to do their homework, force them to just be respectful, force them to stay in their bed, force them. Like it's a constant battle, negotiation, manipulation. Everything makes you feel like you're just sweating and you're so frustrated because why can't they just do what you need them to do? But it feels like it's got to be with force. Yeah. Me, if she can't do what she wants, she fights me, says Julie. Jamie's got her hands up. Teresa says yes, even with her grandkids now. If you continue to force your kids, they're never going to do what you want them to do. We are going to teach you how you need to take control of you to get your kids to listen, to cooperate, to act respectful, because forcing your kids is not working. Do you guys agree? Write the word agree if you agree. What you're doing right now is not working. It's exhausting. It's defeating. It's frustrating. You don't feel like a good parent. You feel like you're failing. You think your kids hate you. You go to bed at night not recognizing yourself. You're scrolling Instagram, crying, feeling like you're looking for tips and tricks on how not to yell, but you wake up and by 8:02, you're screaming again. It's not working. It's not working. I want you guys to start doing what will. Teresa says, I cry myself to sleep because I feel like a failure. First of all, you're not a failure. You're not a failure. I have a slide for this. I believe it's coming, but I want you guys to know, Leslie, I want you guys to know parenting is not intuitive. It is a learned skill. I cannot start performing heart surgery today. I would fail. really, I would feel awful, probably risk somebody's, well, not probably, 100% risk somebody's life. Why? Not because I'm not capable, not because I'm not a smart, educated lady, because I haven't learned the skills to perform heart surgery. Have you guys truly taken the time to learn the skills to actually parent in a positive and effective way? Or do you feel like you're using bits and pieces from here and there and from your childhood and you don't want to repeat all of it, but you don't know what to do? And it's just kind of a hodgepodge. I want you guys to tell me, have you truly learned the skills? Yes or no? No. Yeah. No, 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 no. Look at all these no's. Hundreds of parents on this masterclass, and you guys are all saying no. That's exactly true. I don't doubt that. Nobody's born knowing how to do this. Nobody is born. Here's where the caveat is: you only know what you know from your childhood. You only know what you know from your childhood. How many of you don't want to repeat the way that you were raised? Some of it, all of it, none of it? Yeah, Danielle, so many parents are teachers, psychologists, psychotherapists, doctors, you name it. Yeah. So you don't want to repeat it, but you're repeating it. And that's where you feel like a failure. How many of you know what your parenting style is? Like, you truly understand it. You truly know it. You understand how it's affecting your child's behavior. I'm going to guess you don't know. Let's talk about it. Your parenting style is going to directly affect your child's behavior. So if your kids are not listening, they're not cooperating, you're having to force them to do everything, your parenting style is teaching them to act that way. Leslie, it is not bad that you're sitting in tears, because you know what I'm going to tell you? You're here to learn, you're here to recognize, and you're here to do better. We won't know where we need to go if we don't know where we are right now. I tell parents this all the time. It's not your fault that you parent the way you parent, because it's not intuitive. You've got to learn the skills. But where I do say it's your fault is if you get off the masterclass, you don't make changes, you don't commit to learning the skills, and you just keep repeating the cycles, it is our fault, because it's not our kids' fault. Okay? Here, let's talk about your parenting style. I'm going to use special terms to help this really stick for you guys. But the authoritarian parent is the overpowering tiger. This is the parent who's forcing their kids to listen. You better listen to me because I said so. I'm the grown-up. I'm the adult. You better respect me. I pay for you to live in this house. You do what I tell you to do. You better do it. I told you to do it. You are overpowering your kids. You are the overpowering tiger. Write a number 1 if you are sometimes this, or all of the times this, or if your partner is this. Write a 1. Yeah, take notes, Wendy said. Absolutely. Yeah, number 1's my husband, not me. Number 1, number 1, number 1, my partner, my partner. Okay, here we go. Your kids are going to be fighting back dramatically, trying to get back lost power and control the more you overpower your kids. It is affecting their relationship. It is it is affecting your bond, and it is making them feel very small. Okay, overpowering tiger parents are using lots of yelling and empty threats and bribery and rewards and taking things away and engaging in those power struggles. The second parenting style is the wet doormat, permissive parenting. You are the wet doormat when you want to set boundaries, you want to follow through, you want your kids to, have that respect, but you don't know how. So you try and set them, you say no, 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 and then you say yes. No, 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 no. Okay, fine. You're too tired. You're too exhausted. They cry too long. They tantrum too much. They beg too much. They push you to the edge of the cliff, and you just can't do it anymore. So you give in. How many of you are the wet doormat? Write a number 2. If you feel like your kids are walking all over you to some degree, and you maybe try and be the wet doormat and give in and be kinder because you're too worried about your partner being the overpowering tiger, I'm going to tell you, both of these strategies, overpowering tiger and wet doormat, are doing your kids a disservice. If you are a combination of these two, write combo. Yep. You're nice until you're not nice. You're patient until you're not patient. Leslie says, why do I feel so guilty? Leslie, you feel guilty because we're hitting home why you are stuck where you are stuck. And you are learning, just in what we've talked about so far, it is not your kid's fault. It is not your kid's responsibility to make these changes. It is not your kid's responsibility to fix things. It is our responsibility as the adult and the parent. The third parenting style, which is our goal today, my friends, I'm putting my hands up for you, to be the positive discipline known as the PD parent. The PD parent is kind, calm, respectful, matter of fact, sets boundaries in a respectful way. Their kids are seen, heard, and understood, and they feel confident that they can handle situations in a positive and effective way, whether they're at home or in public, teaching their kids to decrease anxiety and build trust. How many of you want to be PD? Write PD in the comment. Yeah, PD, 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 PD. That's why you're here, my friends. You're here to be the PD parent. How many of you right now know how to be the parent? Right? I know or I don't know. Let's be honest with ourselves. Do you know or I don't know? Nope, nope, nope. I don't know. 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 Kind of, Allison, is kind of working for you? Is it solving your challenges? Or are you realizing that Teresa and Allison kind of doesn't work? Kind of keeps you stuck. Kind of is why you signed up for the masterclass today, because it's not working. Kind of won't work. Kind of is in the tips and tricks. You're still yelling and reminding and empty threats. You're sometimes the overpowering tiger. You're sometimes the wet doormat. Kind of won't work. Okay? Just so you guys know, I'm literally so thankful that each and every one of you are here. And I know I get kind of like going and going and going. I'm so passionate about it because I know you don't have to live like this. But please know, everything I say and everything that I'm sharing, and if my tone or anything comes across in a way that doesn't feel good, my apologies, because I'm just so passionate. I'm so passionate because I want you guys to have the same results that thousands of our clients have had, that I know it's possible for you. Guaranteed, I know it's possible for you. So just know that I become a little direct because I'm so passionate about what's possible for you. Okay? What I know for certain is you've got to stop forcing your kids. This is little Beckett when he was so tiny and now he's 14. This is not your child's problem. I'm sorry to say it, but it's yours. And it's not your fault you're where you are, because you can't choose how you were raised. And it's not your fault that you don't have the skills yet. But in order for you to change these cycles, you have to learn how to shift your parenting so we can then shift your child's behavior. Do I want your kids to listen the first time? Is it possible? Yes. Do I want them to be able to, do what needs to be done without reminders and nagging and yelling? Yeah. Is it possible? Yes. But not by forcing them, not by them figuring it out. You've got to figure it out. You've got to figure it out. Okay? It's up to you to break the cycles. Are you guys starting to see this? How confused do you think your kids are when you're a combo parent? And sometimes you give in and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you yell, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you take things away, sometimes you remind, sometimes you give multiple chances. How confusing do you think that is? Doesn't it make sense? No wonder they're not listening. No wonder they're pushing the limits. No wonder they're feeling anxious and out of sorts. I would too. So takeaway number one, my friends, your parenting style matters. It matters so much. And if you don't know how to shift into a PD parent, top to bottom, not kind of a sort of, you will never solve your challenges. And I mean never. And that doesn't mean to be harsh. I just want to be upfront with you. The second thing we're going to start talking about with our parenting style is, do you know if you punish or discipline? How many know that these are the same or different? Punishing and disciplining. Is it the same thing? Is it different? Write in the comments, same or different. Okay, lots of difference. Leslie says the same. Leslie, I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Different, but similar. Julie, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Punishment and discipline are polar opposites. Literally hot and cold, ice and water, like polar opposites. And the challenge is we don't know it. So we don't know what we're doing. And we think we're teaching our kids lessons, and we're actually pulling them farther apart and teaching them not to listen to us. So let's talk about the difference. When we look at punishment, the definition is anything that causes your child blame, shame, or pain. Anything that causes your child blame, shame, and pain. So when we look back at those Band-Aid short-term solutions, yelling, reminders, empty threats, bribery, rewards, taking things away, engaging in power struggles, they are all forms of punishment. How many of you are using punishment? Put a 1 in the chat if you are using punishment parenting. Yelling, reminders, empty threats, bribery, rewards, taking things away, engaging in power struggles. Look at all the ones. Here's another. It doesn't matter if it's sometimes or all the time or occasionally. If you are using them at all, you are using punishment parenting. Inconsistency won't work. Sometimes kind of won't work. When you punish, you are teaching your kids to feel blame, shame, and pain. I'm going to give you an example so I can help explain this. Let's use the classic case of spilled milk. When your child spills that glass of milk at the end of the day, the sticky, sour, stinky milk is all over the table and the floor, all over your dinners. You are frustrated, tired, and exhausted. It's the last thing you want to deal with. The punishment parent is going to react and sound something like this. Why do you always have to act like that every single time? It's always something. Gosh, can't you just sit at the table and eat? Oh, it's such a disaster. I can't even look at you. Go to your room. How do you think your child feels in that moment? How do you think your child feels in that moment? Feel free to share in the comments if you would like. How does your child feel? Bad? Embarrassed, says Audra. How do you think a child feels in that moment? Shame? Unloved? Lost? Horrible? Yeah. Hurt? Scared? Okay, here's where punishments backfire every single time. You will never have a bonding connection with your kids. They will never feel safe and secure. They will never feel supported. They won't want to open up. They won't trust you, because punishments focus on your child, which is why they feel lost, horrible, unloved, defeated, scared, because you are focusing on them as a person. They spill the milk and you focus on them as a person. Does it solve the spilled milk? Does it fix the spilled milk? Does it teach them to do better next time? Yes or no? Exactly. So the next dinner, the next night you're at the table, it's the same, excuse my language, shit. It's the same shit, different dinner time. Nothing was done except for weakening your bond and connection, making your child feel defeated, weakening their confidence and their lack of self-worth, but nothing taught them how to do better next time. When you discipline as a PD parent, you're teaching and training. We're not blame, shame, and paining. We're teaching and training. So the child spills the milk, the end of a long day, parent is still tired and exhausted. They are going to respond, not react, and they are going to sound something like this. No worries, everybody has accidents, even grown-ups. Would you like to clean it up on your own with this sponge, or would you like some help and do it with me? The difference here, we're not mad and angry at our kids for spilling. We're not teaching them that mistakes are terrible. We're not teaching them that we're going to be angry at them when they make mistakes, so they're fearful to even try things in life. We're not increasing anxiety. We're teaching them that, gosh, when I have a spill, the next thing I do is I clean it up, and here's how we do it. Now, if your child's fooling around at the table and they don't know how to sit still and they're all over the map, that's another parenting issue. We need to teach you how to set, hold, and maintain boundaries at the dinner table. It's not your child's fault. Is this making sense? Raise your hand or say me in the comments if this is making sense to you. You are seeing the difference. You are seeing how punishment is actually making things harder for your kids and for you. It is why you are stuck where you are stuck. Disciplining is going to be the goal, the focus, and the way out of this cycle. How many of you feel like you know how to automatically discipline, or you don't know how, but you want to, right? Say, right, I don't know, IDK, if you don't know how. Yeah, how do we get them to stay at the dinner table? That's a boundary issue, Jamie. That's what we need to teach you. That's what we teach our parents inside our program. How do we get them to do these things? Audra, I'm glad you're here. We're going to start focusing on some of these things, but like I said in the beginning, you're never going to know how to do all of these things in just the session. So if you're really wanting to learn these things, stick with us and we'll show you how. One of the things I'm going to teach you today to start implementing right away is shifting some of your language. I want you to write the word if you are an if monster, meaning your days sound like this. If you don't knock it off, I'm taking it away. If you do that one more time, if you hit your sister, if I have to tell you one more time, you honestly, if you do that, you're going to timeout. If you don't do that, Santa's not coming. If you this, if you this, if. You guys are if monsters. And if you are an if monster, your kids are pushing back and rebelling. Why? If is the number one word to create power struggles. It is like opening the floodgates to a power struggle. You basically say, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I can take away whatever I want and make your life miserable, so you better do what I tell you to do. How do you think your kids feel when that happens? They feel really determined to want to please you and cooperate and listen, or do they feel like, screw you? Let me see if you're actually going to follow through on this. You're inconsistent with your parenting. You're inconsistent all the time. So if you're saying, if I don't do what I tell you to do, are you really going to do what you're telling? Or is it just an empty threat? So they're going to test you and test you and test you and test you. Language is a key factor. Inside the Parenting with Purpose Method coaching program, we focus on language so much. When you learn how to shift your language, you're going to see how quickly your kids cooperate. What I want you guys to be thinking about is shifting your language from if to when. Instead of, if you don't do that, you're not getting X. If you don't do this, you're not going to do that. It's when. When you clean up, then we can start the movie. When you're done your homework, then you can use your device. When you're finished your dinner, then we can go up and do your books. When you do this, then. When, then. When, then. Not if, but when. Okay? Not if, but when. Oceans Calm says, Oceans Calm, if you can switch your comment to everyone, then everyone can see what you've said. But what's the difference between consequence and punishment? Punishments are yelling, reminders, empty threats, taking things away, bribery, rewards, engaging in power struggles. It's not really teaching your child a lesson. When you learn how to effectively set boundaries and follow through with consequences, when a consequence is actually needed, because they're not needed all the time, you will learn to see that your kids will understand the life lesson and learn to make changes. But it's not something I can teach you in one phrase or stage. It's a per situation, per thing, when you use it, when you don't use it. It's just a complicated thing. Okay. Yes, Brandy, I love that you've been switching your ifs to wins. So everybody write that down and do it. It is going to be something you can start implementing today. And again, a reminder, none of this is your fault. How many of you thought before today that you should just be able to figure this out on your own? That you should just be able to figure it out and it shouldn't be this hard? How many of you have partners who feel like you should just be able to figure it out? Write the word partner. Adrian, you said, I have no idea how hard parenting would be, but parenting is not hard. It's actually quite simple and easy when you have the skills. I could say performing heart surgery would feel quite hard today because I don't have the skills and the foundations. But once you have them, doctors do many of those day after day after day after day. Megan, you're on host and panelist. If you switch your commenting to everyone, we'll be able to see them. It says, I'm feeling like I'm failing when we do doesn't work. Yeah, but tips and tricks and punishments and inconsistent parenting is not going to work. How many of you know why your kids don't listen? Why they act out? I think I missed a slide. How many of you know why? How many of you really know why? Why they fight, why they hit, why they call you names, why they won't listen, why they won't eat, why they're picky eaters, why they're refusing to potty train, why they won't stay in bed, why they're back talking you, why they won't do their homework, why their device has to be a battle every single time, why they have to push the limits constantly. How many of you know why? Audra says, no idea. I don't know. Danielle says, strong-willed. Yeah. Danielle says she's not so sure now. No. I'm going to tell you, Kriana, you're going to see her in a little bit. She had an 11-year-old daughter when she came to us, said she was the most strong-willed daughter, that person she'd ever met. After 12 weeks in our program, what happened? Her daughter wasn't strong-willed at all, she said. It was her parenting that was making her that way. Kate says, no respect for rules or boundaries, and that's why they act that way. Nope. Nope. It's not. And here's the thing. If you don't know why they're acting out, you don't know what to fix. How many of you have had headaches in the past and you just pop an Advil or Tylenol because you want to get rid of the pain? What you're doing is you're trying to cover up the symptom of the headache. You're trying to get it to just go away. Put that Band-Aid on it, like the yelling and the reminders and the empty threats to the behaviors. You just pop an Advil or Tylenol. You just yell and scream at your kids in hopes that it stops. But why do you have the headache? Why are your kids acting out? You need to know why. Are you dehydrated? Is it a food sensitivity? Are you overexhausted? Are you having stress? Why? Because if you don't fix the root of the why, the headache comes back and back. If you don't fix the root of the behavior comes back and back. You're never going to solve it. I developed a tool known as the Behavior Needs Roadmap. We call it the BNR for short. Inside the Parenting with Purpose Method coaching program, you are going to become a master of your child's BNR. What does this actually do? It teaches you how to meet your child's needs to avoid unwanted behaviors altogether. How many of you feel like you're firefighters waiting for the behavior to explode and then you're frantically trying to put it out, but you don't know how to put it out, but you're doing whatever you can and you just need to stop it from happening because you're in the grocery store, you're at a restaurant, you're on an airplane, you're at a friend's house, the babysitter's coming, you're stressed out of your mind. Yeah, because you don't know why it's happening and you don't know what to do to solve it and you don't know how. So, of course, you're lost. Of course, you're exhausted. Of course, you're defeated. Of course, nothing works. You've got to know why, and you need to become the master of the BNR. There are 3 core pillars in the BNR: basic needs, emotional needs, child's goals, and parenting skills. Every single pillar must be met daily for your kids to listen, to cooperate, to be respectful, to follow your boundaries. If you don't meet their needs, they are going to act out. Why? In desperation to try and get their needs met because they don't know how. They're kids. It's our job to learn how. How would it feel if you knew how to meet all your kids' needs to set them up for success so that your days were easy and smooth and you could avoid unwanted behaviors confidently? Give me a word in the comments. How would that feel? Give me a word in the comments. Leslie says amazing, 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 amazing. Lots of amazings. Life-changing. Andrea, that's what all our clients say. Life-changing. Peaceful, says Kim. Easy. Yeah. How do you think it changes your relationship with your partner? Bombastic. I love it, Matthew. How does it change your relationship with your kids? How does it change your relationship with your partner? How does it change your stress levels? How does it change how you feel about who you are when you are no longer waiting to put out fires? Your kids feel supported and heard. Their needs are met. Okay, let's go through these. I'm giving you the Cliff's Notes or Cole's Notes versions. We cover all of this in detail inside the Parenting with Purpose Method coaching program. Okay, so for Danielle and everybody else who's like, I need all of it, keep on listening. Under basic needs, sleep, nutrition, security, transitions. 4 core needs under basic needs that all need to be met. How many of you feel like transitions suck? Your kids struggle to clean up and come to the table. They struggle to brush your teeth and go to bed. You try and get them ready for bed and everything's reminders and nagging. You need them to get their shoes on and it's like, oh my gosh, just put your shoes on. You need them to do their homework. You need them to do anything. It is a battle. Yeah, most parents don't know how to create easy transitions because they don't know how to set boundaries. Everything is interconnected. You are going to see this. This is why bits and pieces won't work. For those of you who said that you punish, yelling reminders, empty threats, bribery, rewards, taking things away, engaging in power struggles, you cannot check off the security box for your kids because they feel scared, anxious, fearful, worried they're going to get in trouble, worried they're going to make a mistake, that you're going to be mad with them, at them. So transitions can't be checked. Security can't be checked. How many of you struggle with meal times? Kids won't sit at the table. They won't come to the table. They need reminders. They're up and down. They're playing. They need TV. They won't just eat. They're picky eaters. You have to bribe them with dessert. You need to say, take 2 more bites. Raise your hand or say me if you feel like nutrition and meal times are a battle to some degree. It doesn't have to be the worst thing in the world, but just in general at all. Yeah. So we cannot check off the nutrition mealtime box. How many of you feel like you struggle with Audra some degree sometimes? That means it's a yes. We can't check anything unless it's 100% consistent. Sleep, your kids go to bed too late. They need reminders. They're in and out of bed. They won't stay in bed. They need you to lay with them. They won't fall asleep on their own. They're in your bed in the middle of the night. They're waking to, multiple times in the night. You have to drag them out of bed in the morning because they're too tired. How many of you feel like you struggle with any of those things? Say me. Leaves the room to steal electronics. Yeah, Suzanne, that's an issue. If your kids are not going to bed early, sleeping all night, falling asleep independently so you can kiss them goodnight, you can walk out, bedtime takes 30 minutes, start to finish, they're happy, you're happy, they wake on their own in the morning, ready, rested to go, you cannot check off sleep. Sleep, nutrition, security, transitions. Many of you and most of you cannot check any of these. That's okay. That's where every parent is when they come to us. This is what we help you solve. Underneath emotional needs, your kids have X amount of power and attention they need every single day. Powers their sense of self-worth and confidence, their sense of, capability, where they fit in at home, where they fit in the world. Attention is their need to feel bonded and connected with you. The challenge is when you are giving reminders, when you're using punishment tactics, the yelling, the reminders, the empty threats, you keep robbing them of their power and attention. Every time you do those things, you take away from them. They never reach their quota because our parenting is prohibiting that from ever happening. How many of you feel like you spend time with your kids and you just spent amazing one-on-one time, and then within a matter of minutes of finishing, they're being rude and disrespectful, and you're like, dude, I just spent time with you. Why do you have to act like that? Because all the boxes are not checked. There are needs unchecked. You are working against yourself. You give a little, take a little, give a little, take a little. They never get where they need to be. Does that make sense, Megan? The last pillar, the last pillar is your child's goals and your skills. All kids are born with two jobs: to please you and to push boundaries until boundaries are found. If your boundaries are what we call gray, your kids are going to push and push and push until the cows come home. Write the word gray if this is you. Sometimes you give in, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you hold the boundary, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you give chances, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you yell, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do timeout, sometimes you take things away. Sometimes you just can't even deal with it, so you walk away. Sometimes you ignore them. Sometimes you just lose your you-know-what. Sometimes you say, that's it, I'm following through, but you don't even know if you're following through on something, if it's actually something you should be following through on, because it feels kind of harsh. Gray, 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 gray. When I say those things, does that feel confusing? Does that feel all over the map? Does that feel like, holy crap, no wonder my kids aren't listening. No wonder my kids can't follow the boundaries. No wonder my kids aren't respectful. Like, they don't even know what to do. My kids are born to push boundaries until boundaries are found. They can't even find the boundary because I'm so gray and inconsistent. Is that making sense? The challenge is your kids can never stop pushing unless you learn the skills to set, hold, and maintain what we call 3 C's boundaries: concrete, clear, and consistent. If you are gray and you are not concrete, clear, and consistent from morning to night, your kids are going to push and push and push and push and push because they're doing an A+ job. They need these things met on their roadmap, or they have to keep acting the way they're acting. Your parenting is a direct reflection of their behavior. Are you seeing how this is all connected? Write the word connected if you are seeing how you can't have one tip or trick. Write the word connected if you are seeing your parenting is affecting their behavior. Write the word connected if you are seeing that they're never going to stop pushing if you don't know how to set boundaries. Lastly, if you set a boundary and you follow through with yelling, reminders, empty threats, bribery, rewards, any of those punishment tactics, they're never going to be able to stop acting that way, because now you're taking away power and attention. Now you're taking away security. Nothing is ever getting fully met. You need to learn how to follow through in a positive, disciplined way. Teaching and training without punishment. Okay, Suzanne says, wow. Tell me in the comments, light bulb. If you guys are mind blown, light bulbs, understanding that, whoa, no wonder I'm lost. No wonder my kids are acting out. No wonder I'm stuck where I'm stuck. Tell me in the comments, is this making sense? Light bulbs, light bulbs, light bulbs, light bulbs. Suzanne says, if you and your husband parent differently, it causes issues with confusion. What's confusing is both of you, Suzanne, are all over the map. 85% of our parents come through our program. One parent's on board. One parent becomes consistent. One parent learns how to meet the needs on the behavior needs roadmap and parent in a positive, disciplined way. The other parent can still do whatever the heck they want, but you need one person to be consistent. You need one person to take action and make change. It's really hard to follow through right now because they're not set up for success, Danielle. Their needs aren't met. They're not going to listen and cooperate when these boxes are not checked. They're never going to do it. But when you learn how to do these things in a step-by-step fashion that we teach you to do, it's so easy. Wendy will tell you, it's so easy. I'm going to give you guys a gift at the end, so stick with me. I'm going to give you a download to one of my #1 tools, which is called Golden Time. It takes 10 minutes a day. It's a great way to start filling those emotional needs buckets of power and attention. It's a great way to work on your bonding connection, to help your kids feel seen, heard, and understood. It's a great way to bring back some positivity into your negative cycles. So stay with me, and I'm going to give you guys a free download on this. Wendy says this is also easy when you have the right system in place. Yes. Wendy was struggling with mental health. Wendy was struggling with yelling and screaming. She didn't want to get out of bed. She felt like a failure. She felt like nothing was going to work until she learned how to parent in a positive way in our step-by-step plan inside the Parenting with Purpose method. She now is an entirely different parent. Her kids' behaviors totally transformed. So right now, I want you guys to think about your reality, where you're stuck, what your days look like, what they feel like, how awful it is, how much you dread going to restaurants or putting your kids to bed or having to take them out in public, or what others might say, the judgment you get, how embarrassed you might feel. I want you guys to write one word in the comment about what your reality of parenting feels like right now. One word. What is parenting feeling like right now? So Megan says stress. Audra says complicated. Danielle says exhausting. Hopeless, says Matthew. Unpredictable, overwhelming, self-shame, overwhelming, disaster, struggle. They're coming through so quickly. Broken, stress. All of the above comments. How would it feel in one word? Tell me this. If you woke up relaxed, if your kids listened the first time, they cooperated, they did homework, they ate breakfast, they got ready for bed, they didn't fight and argue, they were kind to you, you were kind to them, you felt like they could open up to you, that they trusted you, that they wanted to be around you, that you could go on vacation and love the memories and the moments that you're making, that your kids would look back on their childhood and say, oh my gosh, how lucky I am to have had my parents who made me feel so loved and so supported, that don't need to go to therapy later for childhood trauma. I'd probably cry. Life-changing, luxurious, the dream. What's it worth to you guys to get out of your reality and into this dream? What's it worth to you? Inside the Parenting with Purpose method, I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to experience so much when you implement this system. You are going to experience kids who listen the first time you ask. You're going to wake up excited to parent. You're going to build a strong bond and connection with your child. You're going to have kids who follow your set boundaries. Wendy says, everything, he's my whole world, Leslie says. Well, Leslie, let's get ready for you to commit and jump in. Wendy says, I was so depressed about my parenting that I was suicidal at one point, on meds, therapy, figured my kids were eventually going to be estranged from me. It makes me cry every time because Wendy is such a doll. It took me 6 years to make the leap to join Tia's program because I thought I could figure it out. My kids now tell me, Mommy, I trust you now. And Wendy now knows she was never going to figure it out. She wasn't going to figure it out on her own. It's not possible. I want you guys to have a better relationship with your partner, with your kids. The list goes on and on and on with how life-changing the Parenting with Purpose method is. Jenna says it was the best investment ever. I seriously can't thank you enough. We were struggling so much, and now we're on the rise. Brianna, who had the strong-willed 11-year-old, said, I wish I had your business cards to pass out. I'm sitting here at dinner tonight listening to the family next to me arguing and thinking how thankful I am that we found you. Catherine says, I feel so relieved. I wasn't sure this was actually ever going to happen. Audra, I agree. There's nothing worse. So many of my clients see therapists constantly, and all they talk about in their therapy is how miserable they are and how they want to be a better parent and they don't want to yell and they feel awful about their triggers. A therapist can't solve this for you. You have to learn how to parent in a different way. I want you guys to listen what Tasha said, mom of 2 young girls who went through our program and just recently graduated.
Now I can wholeheartedly say that I'm doing it well and to the best of my ability because of the knowledge that I have taken from the course and how I've implemented it into our home. So thank you for that. I can't recommend it enough to others, and it's been such a blessing. If you're someone who you're like, I'm a good parent or I'm a bad parent, let me tell you, it doesn't matter if you're a good parent or a bad parent. You need this course. You need to learn how to do this. If you can't afford it, then save until you can. Budget, work extra hours, skip vacation, stop extra spending, like save until you can afford it. Because you only have one opportunity at this. And you really want to enjoy it, like wholeheartedly enjoy it. You don't want to pass your kids off to the school system or nanny or somebody else and like live for bedtime. No, you like really wholeheartedly want to enjoy it. And Tia's course taught me how to do that. Thank you, Tia and the team.
Yeah. And Tasha doesn't yell anymore. She disciplines without punishment. She feels more connected with her husband and her kids. Everything is transformed. Okay? Everything is transformed. We are going to give you 2 levels of our program, okay? I'm going to talk with you about the program. I'm going to share more testimonials. I'm going to give you options. I'm going to give you guys what you need. So bear with me. If you are serious about making changes, you will want to hear what we have to say because I'm going to offer you something on this call that once you're off the call, you won't have, okay? So pay attention, okay? I'm going to give you today 2 levels of our program. We do have multiple tiers in our coaching program. Our full coaching program has 3 tiers. Today, we're going to talk about 1 tier for you. But what I'm offering today that I don't offer is an option for you to do a self-study. Okay? I know times are tough. I know the world's in a crap place. I know the tariffs and the economy, and I get it. But your parenting doesn't stop. Raising your kids doesn't stop no matter what's going on in our personal lives and no matter what's going on in our world. How many of you guys see that you can't wait for there to be a perfect time because there's no perfect time to fix your parenting? Okay, so I'm going to offer you options to try and help as many parents as we can get the help they need in a way that works for you. Okay, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here inside the Parenting with Purpose method. If you go with our self-study option, okay, it is going to be less of an investment for sure. But what it's going to give you is also less because you're going to be doing it on your own. So underneath course content over here underneath course content, we're giving you some simple sneak peeks into the different modules of our 12-week program. You are going to have every single week in our program, everybody's going to get course content. You are going to have week 1, module 1, week 2, module 2, week 3, module 3, slow and steady piecing it together so that you understand the why behind behavior. You master the roadmap. You stop punishing. You start disciplining. You know how to implement consequences. You know how to manage outbursts, how to avoid power struggles, how to know the difference between tantrums and meltdowns, how to build your bond and connection, how to solve sleep challenges, how to set your boundaries morning to night. You will get everything you need. Why are our clients successful? Because we give them everything they need. So whether you're in the self-study or in our coaching program, you are going to get each piece of the puzzle. About an hour of audio lessons each week, along with what we call action tasks. Every client will need to be implementing each week. What I mean is, you can't just listen to me and then say, okay, great, that's enough. No, you need to make the changes. So we're going to give you action tasks. Those are downloads, those are trackers, charts, templates, tools, things you need to implement. And I'm going to show you how to implement it, give you examples. And then when you do it, just as a parent and when you involve your kids, we're leaving nothing out. Okay. So when you self-study, you're getting everything that everybody else in our coaching program is getting, but you're not getting the live personalized coaching. So if you have questions, if you feel stuck, you have the option to upgrade later or at any time to the coaching levels. So are you losing anything by starting in the self-study? You're going to lose maybe some extra bonuses today, but when you go to upgrade, you have already paid for the program piece. Now we're upgrading to coaching, okay? Okay, so Danielle, bear with me for like 5 to 6 more minutes if you can. So if you go with self-study, you're going to have what we call ongoing access to the modules, Adrienne. So for as long as I'm running my program, every graduate has access. I don't say lifetime. I don't know what our life is going to give or have, but that's it. If you are going with our coaching level with support, you're going to get all of the other things as well. 12 weeks of coaching. You're going to be in a private community where you can ask us your questions over here. Daily support Monday to Friday. Not yet, Jamie. Monday to Friday, 12 solid weeks. Ask us any question about the modules, about your child's behavior, about a tantrum that's happening, about your kids refusing to eat, about them back talking. We're going to coach you and guide you, tell you what to say, what language to use, how to start implementing. You also are going to have twice weekly live coaching clinics on Zoom where we're going to answer your questions. You also get to watch the replays. Here's our replay library. We have 3 years of replays that we keep minimum in the library. You could search tantrums, back talking, hitting, sibling rivalry, not listening, consequences, and you can search the topics and listen to live coaching calls. When you learn how to handle real life situations with all the pieces of the puzzle in the curriculum, you now are going to know what to do and what to say in those moments. The last thing, is it good for toddlers, Mariella? Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you have a 1-year-old or a 22-year-old. We have a parent in our program with a 22-year-old at Princeton. Why? She never solved her challenges. I'm telling you, friends, they won't go away. You need to solve them. We also offer bonus expert workshops. I've done a yelling workshop, a listening workshop. They're saved inside that gold coaching level when you do the coaching option. We just ran one last week on anxiety and anxious kids. We're running one in July on picky eating and meal times. Those all stay inside the coaching community for you to watch and listen to, whether you come live or not. Twice weekly coaching clinics, daily support, bonus workshops, replay libraries, plus your step-by-step plan. That's what everybody gets when they go in our coaching level, the gold coaching level, which I'm offering you today. If you go with the self-study, you're getting this piece over here, which is just the curriculum, option to upgrade later when times are better or finances are better or whatever. I'm going to share with you the investment on both. If you enroll now on this call into our gold program with the coaching, I'm going to throw in a bonus month. I'm not only going to throw in a bonus month, I'm going to save you $1,000. $1,000 plus a bonus month. So 16 weeks so we can get you through the summer and through back to school. Do you need to pay $4,000 right now? Nope. I want you to click the link that Wendy just put into the chat, and you can see you can pay in 3 months, you can pay in 6 months. Doesn't matter to me. You're going to get your curriculum, your step-by-step plan. Follow the plan. We will solve your challenges. Daily support, community, weekly support. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. I will answer them. Dive in now on this call before it finishes, and you're going to get a bonus month of coaching added to your 12 weeks. USD. Yes, I should add that on there. USD. If you are in Canada or somewhere else, we cover your taxes. No taxes added on top. If you want to go with our self-study, you will not have a bonus month of coaching because there's no coaching. But it is only $1,500 for you today. 1,500 US. Any other questions, ask them in the chat and I will answer them. Again, pay in full, 3-month plan, 6-month plan. I can guarantee you guys have the option to be able to implement if it's important to you. If you go in our gold coaching program, I'm going to give you a money back guarantee. I'm not giving you a money back in the self-study because I don't know if you're doing the work. But if you go in our gold coaching program for $4,000 today, 16 weeks for the cost of 12, we're going to give you a full money back guarantee. A full money back, zero risk. You finish their program, start to finish, you do the work, you implement, and we will give you your full money back if you don't have results. Why do I do that? Because everybody who does it has results. We don't have a single negative review online. Every parent that does it has results, and I am confident you will too. Okay, so Wendy's going to go ahead and drop a link in the chat if you have questions. I don't know what program is right for me. I don't know what I should do. I think I need to do this one or that one. I don't know. I want to talk to my partner. You can totally do that and book a call in, and you and your partner can come to the call. You can book a call in with our team to discuss questions if you have questions, to go over which program level might make the most sense. I am going to share the replay of this for you guys until Sunday at midnight, so you can share with your partner if you need to. A single mom discount, I'm giving you the discount today. It's $4,000 instead of $5,000, and it's $1,500 instead of $2,000. 4 things you need to know if you are going to book a call with us. We only work with parents who are committing to making changes. That means investing time and finances. If it's not for you, like I said, that's okay. Book a call only if you are looking for the full process and you're ready to commit, not looking for quick tips and tricks. We have limited 25-minute strategy calls. So if you want to book a call. Wendy's going to drop the link again in the chat. It's above, but she'll drop it again. Julie, for sure, book a call. I'm going to offer the $1,000 off the gold and the $500 off the self-study until Sunday at midnight. If you want the bonus month of coaching, you need to enroll on the call. All decision makers need to come to the call. If you come to the call and you say, I can't decide without my partner decides, he or she decides the finances, they need to both be on the call. Okay? We're going to help you figure out on the call where you're stuck, help you figure out why you're creating more power struggles, give you that 90-day plan, what the program looks like, answer any questions. Okay? John and his partner said, we're so happy we found Tia. In just a few weeks, we were more in control with our emotions and parenting. Times where we normally yelled, spanked, and had boiled blood, we are calm and more effective. Alice, a mom of 4, said this.
As a parent, I was very strict and not necessarily in a way that was very helpful for my children, but it was just about working until we had our 3rd child, we have 4, and he has ADHD. And I realized that everything I thought I knew about parenting wasn't very effective for him, and if I was honest, wasn't really effective for my other children either. What Tia has taught me is firstly that the things I didn't know weren't my fault for not knowing them, and that it's going to take time to learn some of the skills that I want to have to be the best parent I can for the family that I have. I don't always get it right, and I've certainly made lots of mistakes, but overall, the change in our family since my partner and I started working with Tia has been really positive, to the point of being almost unbelievable. The change has been really good to see. It's really empowering to know that I can make changes and that my kids feel more secure and more connected and less like I'm going to fly off the handle at them. And my son with ADHD, his behaviors have de-escalated, which has been really healthy for the whole family too. Tia is patient and thoughtful and knows her stuff, and I've been really impressed. I looked for a long time for support and for help, and it was a big investment for us as a family, but it's been exactly what we needed. It was where we most needed help, and we were really, really struggling, and Tia has made all the difference.
So this is what you guys have to decide. It is an investment for everybody. I had a dad join our program and he paid the 5,000, but he divided it by his two kids. And if you take the 4,000 and you divide it by two kids and you have kids at home for 13 more years, you're going to see it's like $100 and some, not even a year per kid. You have to decide. Haley says we're feeling 1,000,000% better with being focused and intentional on parenting. This is exactly what my husband and I needed. I can't wait to continue the lessons. I am so grateful that we're getting tangible ways to solve our challenges in a steady, positive way. Our family needed this. Book your call or enroll. Okay. If you have questions and you're not sure, book your call in. You can book a call in throughout this whole week. The bonus is available for the discount cost until Sunday midnight. Book in a call. We will send you the replay as a special this time only for you guys to listen this week. Okay. We usually do a live only, but I'm going to give you the replay so you can sit down with your partners. Brandy, let me know if you have questions or if you see that now. Okay. It's so incredible and refreshing. I'm beyond glad that we booked our strategy call and joined. Thank you, Tia. We love this program so much, and the coaching makes it so much more helpful. Listen to Christina, a mom of 3 who was working and was financially struggling, and what happened for her.
It was life-changing, I want to say. And then when I was able to take them out on my own and we had a beautiful day together, that was just huge. It was just so huge. And it was like, that's truly the validation that I did for myself. And my husband's not on this journey with me directly. Like, I've got to let him do what he wants to do, and he's helping more than, I would have originally expected. So he helps with Golden Time. He's adopting terminology that I use. He's, not just yelling across the room. He's going and addressing the situation. He's walking through the scenarios with the kids instead of just being like, knock it off, give it back, do this, do that. Like, he's, putting it more onto them. He's used timers, which I thought hell is definitely frozen over, because I think I like messaged in on that too, because I was like, no way. I didn't even prompt it anything. And I was like, what just happened? He said, this is the most beautiful summer I have ever had. We haven't done anything crazy. We haven't even really gone anywhere, a whole lot, but we have spent so much time together, and it has been beautiful time spent. And they're like, what? Like, we don't get that answer from parents who leave. And we're building a house, and financially it was, tight and not really something that I was planning to do. And I am more than grateful that I took that leap.
So everybody takes the leap. Everybody has to decide. Everybody has to figure out if it's right for them. But with a money back guarantee, it's going to be amazing for you to do it and either end up with results, or if not, and you've done the work, have your money back. I just want to say how grateful I am for you and all that you've done for me and my family. I appreciate what you have done to help us have a better home environment. I truly look up to you. Camp routines were smooth. Me and my husband are engaged. My husband is more engaged, and it feels like we're aligned. Okay, you guys, all of this is possible. It doesn't matter what the age of your child is, if your child has a diagnosis or not, or even if only one parent is on board, we can help you if you want help. Like Claudia, who says she hasn't yelled in 3 days once she joined the program, and her husband and her have been 100% consistent with Golden Time. Wendy, go ahead and drop the Golden Time download for those who stuck around for their free download. Bedtime and sleep are already improving, and we're weeks away from completing the modules. Kelly says the girls have been waking earlier since going to sleep earlier, happier mornings, and both girls are being very helpful about getting dressed for school. Why? Because Kelly's meeting all the needs on the roadmap. So finally they can cooperate in the morning. Finally they can listen. Finally they can get dressed. Most parents stay stuck because they make excuses. They don't move forward because their partner's not on board. Their fear and doubt get in the way. They make excuses about time or money. The investment holds them back. Okay, we have given you a discount. We have split the payments up even into 6 payments. We have made this as easy as possible. Okay. Wendy says, I was a client and it helped me so much. I even switched careers from being an actuary to becoming a parenting coach. Yes, Wendy went through our parent coach certification program, and she now is a really like high value member on our team. Okay. Laura, no problem. Have an awesome day. Okay. So it's your choice to have your money back guarantee if you want to go with the coaching. It's also your choice if you want to do a self-study.
And within the first couple of weeks of doing this program in the Golden Time, things has been great. We're on the same page, like you said. We're not like fighting each other, or our parenting styles aren't conflicting. They complement each other now.
You know, this is gonna give you a better relationship with your kids and make everybody in your house happy. I mean, it's the money's sort of irrelevant, I think.
They have come to rely on your techniques for their independence and their success.
The missing piece for me before was always you.
It was quick. I mean, you get quick wins.
Instead of saying, you know, here's what we should do, here's why I think we should do it this way, I could just say, like, what would Tia do?
Parenting frustration of not knowing what to do. Like, I don't feel like I don't know what to do anymore.
I'm so happy, like the door has been open for me. Already seeing so many changes that I've now gone weeks without any yelling moments. Like, that feels like such an incredible shift in the household.
Like right now, we have the perfect morning schedule.
It goes so smoothly. She has her bath, we read, and she falls asleep literally within now 5 seconds that her head hits the pillow. The Parenting with Purpose method helps us create a healthy, mutually respectful environment at home.
I stopped yelling in September of 2021, and I haven't yelled since.
Mom actually said to me the other day, she's like, I can see a big difference, because she had my oldest one. She's like, I can see a big difference in the way that she is. I was like, okay, well, that's good. At least other people can see it's working too, which was nice. Vanity, just like the peace in your house is worth every penny.
We'll be able to like to connect with your kids and to have an entire day without one power struggle.
It's been a game changer for us, for sure.
Okay, so for everybody here, you have a couple choices. You can book your strategy call if you would like. I'm going to send the replay out via email. I'm going to send the link to book the call out via email if you haven't booked. The spots are filling up already for the calls. That's great. We will connect with you. We will answer your questions. If you wanted the extra bonus month, those of you who enrolled today on the call, that month is yours. Congratulations. Welcome. We're excited to have you. For those of you who are going to book the call first, you're still going to have the discount pricing until Sunday. So watch the replay with your partner. Make sure that you engage in it. We will send it via email. If our emails are not coming to you, check your junk, spam, and promotion. Thank you for those who are here with an open mind, who are realizing that parenting is going to take work and time and a step-by-step process and plan. And my goal isn't to give somebody something cheap that's going to leave you stuck. My goal is to actually give you the time, the coaching, the accountability, the consistency for us to show up as a team to ensure you get your results. And that's what we do inside the Parenting with Purpose method. So I really hope for those of you who want to create the best summer and the best 2025-2026 school year, that you take your parenting seriously and that you treat this like furthered education, because we all spend our money somewhere, whether it's vacations or shopping or coffees or whatever you want, but reallocating where you would like to spend it so that you can have the life you want with your kids. Thank you so much for being here. Jamie, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you had some aha moments. We will send the email. Please watch for that. It'll go out within the next hour or so. And let's get you guys where you want to be, because ultimately it's your decision. Audra says, can you explain the 3-day event is from the Golden Time? Again, it's a great way to get to know how we do things. Are we solving all your challenges in 3 days? No. Our program is 12 weeks. It takes 12 weeks, but it's another way for you to learn some other things. But if you're really looking to solve your challenges, you're going to need to know that in the long run, you're going to need to commit. So if you need more time to trust us, you need more time to see what we're all about, then that 3-day event is a great event. But everybody that's doing anything in this world isn't solving anybody's anything in 3 days. There's always something that's more. Unfortunately, if it were simple, nobody would be signing up. No one would be struggling. And it is quite simple when you have the pieces, but without all the pieces, you'll just remain stuck. So that's that. Hopefully that answers your question, Audra. All right. Perfect. So we will see you guys in our communities. We'll see you around. We'll see you in the program. For those of you who enrolled, we'll see you on your strategy consult for those who booked. And Brandy, let us know if we can answer your questions. And we're here to help. All right. Take care, everybody.